Now that I've worked the amount of repeats that I like, which I've done 6 total repeats for this bag height, you can keep on going if you want it taller or do less repeats for shorter. The next steps we're going to do is we're going to finish off the top part of this bag to be a bit cleaner. I'll show you what I mean. So I started this round by simply slip stitching into each stitch around and only doing one slip stitch per chain 2 space. So as I come up on this chain 2 space here, I'm slip stitching one stitch into each stitch, but the chain 2 space is just one slip stitch, and then I'll keep on going. So for round 1 of the bag top, we're simply slip stitching in each stitch around, which means for the size small, we'll have a total of 72 stitches. And for this size, for size large, it will be a total of 104 stitches. So our stitch count does not change. Now, after doing a round of slip stitches, we are going to start by working in the back loops only of each stitch around. So I'm going to work in the back loop only with a single crochet. So single crochet stitch in the back loop only, marking the first stitch of your round. And then I'm going to continue working single crochet stitches in the back loops only, not changing the stitch count all the way around. And notice this nice clean line here. The reason why I like to just do a round of simple slip stitches is it helps even out this top of the bag, and it also creates a nice clean section when we're changing the type of stitches that we are doing. So for rounds 2 and for round 3 for the top of the Journey Under the Sea bag, we will simply be single crocheting in the back loops only all the way around for rounds 2 and for round 3 as well. So now for round 4, and for round 4, we are going to be creating the space our hands will go into for that handle. And we will be working in the back loop only again with these single crochet stitches. So I'm going to move my stitch marker, and for the large size bag, we are going to start this round by single crocheting 18 stitches in the back loop only. Now for the small bag, it will only be 10 stitches for this section. Now after single crocheting 18 in the back loop only, next we will chain 16, and then we are also going to skip 16 stitches. And then we'll go back to single crocheting into that back loop only for 18 stitches. Now this completes half of the bag. We'll repeat that series of instructions. So the set we just did where we did single crochet 18 in the back loop only, chain 16, skip 16, and then single crochet 18 in the back loop only. We'll repeat that whole thing again so that we also do it on the other side. Now, like I said, if you are making the size small, the stitch counts will be slightly different, but the instructions are the same. For the size small, it'll be single crochet 10 in the back loop only, chain 16, skip 16, and single crochet 10 in the back loop only, and then you'll repeat all of that one more time. So continue to finish this row and then come on back. Now for round 5 through 7, we are going to be single crocheting in the back loop only. So we're just going to keep working this stitch pattern. But of course, for round 5, when we get to those chain stitches, we're just simply going to work them into the chain stitches for that first round, just single crocheting into those chain stitches. So for round 5, as we get to these chain stitches, we can't really, I mean, we could do them in the back loop only across here. It's completely up to you how you want to do it. If you want to like go through 2 strands or 1, but we're simply going to work across these chains and then continue single crocheting in the back loop only. We will do that single crocheting in the back loop only for round 6 and 7 as well. For this larger bag, if you want it to be a little bit thicker on top, you can go ahead and continue to repeat that round until you like that thickness. Now that we've made it all the way around, I did 4 rounds for the handle for this big bag. I thought it looked a little bit better. And I can take out my stitch marker and we can fasten off. Now, when it comes to weaving in this end, I like to do an invisible join here. And I want to show you how to do that. When we look at our stitches, we do have a little bit of a jog happening, which means this is shorter than this. So by doing a join, it will diminish that. But when I do the invisible join, I definitely like to work over a stitch and go into the next. The reason why is it won't add a stitch on the top. The stitch count stays the same, and I find that it levels it out a little bit better. So we're going to get our yarn needle out. We're going to skip this stitch, and then we're going to insert our needle through that stitch as if we were to do a regular single crochet. That's how we're inserting it. Pull it. And now we're going to go back down through the center of our last stitch worked, right down the center of that. And look at the top. You can't tell where we ended. It just creates kind of a mock stitch, but still keeps our stitch count the same as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and weave in that end. Hope that you are as impressed with the stitch as I am. It's super fun and super gorgeous. I just love the way it looks. Now you can give this bag a light block if you want to, but it also is a pretty relaxed fabric that if you don't want to block it, that's okay as well. Thank you so much for joining me for this project. I'm going to have so many fun projects coming up. I'm addicted to this style of stitch, so I'm super excited for the future. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel, follow me on social media, and use the hashtag BriannaKDesigns so I can see your projects when you post them. Thank you so much for joining me.